San Diego had some of the biggest tides and waves that we've had in probably a year. It's been pretty epic. So I want to cut to some footage here and go outside and show you some of that and show you what it was like. On an event like this, how we can use photography to look for the stories, watch for the characters, and be ready for moments that really tell the story of what this event was like. So let's jump outside, we'll look at some stuff, and then we're going to go through some photography and talk about that. This is going to be fun.
As you might be able to see behind me, we have some king tides here in North San Diego County, California. The highest tides of the year. So look at that, coming right up behind us here. And so these are great to get out and photograph. So I'm out here. I don't know if we're gonna do any lessons today, but I just thought you might want to come along for the ride and shoot some of these wave sprays and just those big waves, high tide. I'll show you the coastline after because it does some pretty serious erosion work on the beaches. This is the highest tides of the year. Totally fun to shoot. I guess one lesson is, I don't know if you can see it, but got a ton of wave spray on my lens, so bring microfiber cloth or a lens safe cloth when you're down here shooting, because I forgot mine, so I'll have to go home and get it. But totally fun out here, and I'll show you some of the pictures that we get and some video footage, but this is just the best.
Part of the reason those waves are so big was because it was just so windy. There was, I don't know, 30-mile-per-hour plus winds yesterday, and it just sent the ocean into just a churning, boiling mess. And it was fantastic. Waves were coming in sideways and just growing as they were coming toward the shore, and you can just see how they're just blowing up. And it's so fun to be out there when you're shooting. Number one, be careful. I lost a camera out there last year because I thought I knew the ocean. And I was like, oh, I'll be fine. I know that I'm not going to get sprayed if I go out there for this 5 seconds. But what do you know? Ocean had different plans, and it hit me twice in a row, and I lost a camera. So um, be aware. Just respect the ocean and respect where you are, especially for your own safety and for the safety of your gear, because camera equipment does not like salt water. Okay, so that disclaimer out of the way. It's so much fun to watch the wave sprays and kind of get an idea of where they're going to be coming up and prepare yourself to get that shot that just shows how big the waves are. You can see where the high tide came in and just wiped out the beach like a giant cake cutter, and it just left a cliff right up to that tent where a surf competition was going on but was canceled because of those waves. So pretty incredible power. Um, Getting into some of the photography from this day, I want to start with this one. This was kind of by chance. You can see the settings here, so I'll just leave that there for you. But this, I was just walking toward the end of the road. I didn't want to walk down on this oceanfront road for obvious reasons. And as I looked back, I saw a wave coming and just got the camera ready. Was able to capture this incredible wave coming up over the road in this house. You get the idea, and just how powerful this ocean was on this day. The shutter speed is probably even a little bit slow. Sometimes it's better to have a higher shutter speed so you can get just those crisp water drops. Or the other option is to go even lower, like 1/15 of a second, and then the water drops kind of turn into streaks, which is a pretty cool look also. For not planning this shot, I think it turned out okay. So 1/100th of a second at f9, pretty cool. And then this shot was more planned. When you stand there, as you can see in the video, what the waves were doing, had a pretty good chance that if I just waited long enough, I would get that wave spray hitting the lifeguard tower direct. And so I just set myself up behind the tower and waited. And so 1/250th of a second, and that did a nice job of freezing that wave spray and getting everything in focus. So I love that shot. That's another one that's pretty good of telling the story of what happened on that day, and just capturing that moment of impact, if you will. Pretty fun. The other thing I like to do is look for the characters, and there's always characters. out here, just people enjoying. I've told the story of the Oceanside trench coat guy in a past video. You can check that out or research him on your own, but he's kind of a local legend. And like there are a couple of really great shots of him. I really like this. Like it just looks like he's pondering. He's by himself. I love this one-way sign. I love the raging ocean behind him. And then right after that shot was this one. I really like these. It really tells the story of who this guy is and how much he loves the ocean and the waves. And it's just I find this really beautiful. So a good example of capturing the characters that help tell the story of the day. Another one is this guy just almost running for his life across the parking lot. Of course, he's running right into the wave, but I love it. I love it. I was proud of that shot. I thought that turned out great, and it's just adding that little human element into a picture like this. It adds a lot. It adds a lot to the experience. And then I really like this little series. This is a friend of mine taking a picture. There's two people in here. One of them is Bruce from the previous picture, and then another one is a friend of his. And so they were posing for a picture, and then a wave hit. And then check out the aftermath. I love this so much. Just look at their faces and look how happy, look how much joy is in that face, and the victory in her face and her hand gesture. She's just like, yes, got used by the ocean, and it felt terrific. Um, really makes me happy. Does a good job of again telling the story of what this morning was like. And then if we look down, this is that oceanfront road. It's called the Strand in Oceanside, and it really shows just how flooded it gets on mornings like this. There are garages here in these buildings, and often you can kind of see the sandbags here, but these garages do get flooded out kind of often when there's a high tide like this. So that's not good, but they're also designed to handle it. So it's not like it's causing major damage, but certainly an inconvenience. But you can see way in the distance here is Bruce and the other lady who in the last photo were just getting hit by the wave. So I really like this photo, the wave coming over and the road just turns into a river. It's just like, where does the ocean end and the road start? I really love that. And sometimes people just have to leave. This road was closed for obvious reasons, but people do live here. And look at this. Well, we'll go to this one first, maybe. But I love this truck coming down the road and just how much water it's moving out of the way and about to get just used by this wave. And then the aftermath of that. And my goodness, maybe don't drive your car down a road like this during tides like this because I would imagine all that salt isn't good for a vehicle. Low tide. Let's go to low tide. So after these big high tides come through, I like to come out and get the extreme low tide. So you can just see how far that water is out when just hours before it was crashing all the way up here. This is that road we were looking at earlier. Um, and just how far that tide recedes and what it does to the shoreline. It just carves it out. I really like this just to show that type of change to the beach. And then this is also another story to tell because these are some pretty famous cottages along the oceanside waterfront. Typically, it's a flat walk from a cottage front door straight out to the ocean, across the street here, and then walk to the sea. And as you can see, the beach has been taken away, left with all of these rocks. And it's not a direct picture of the high tide, but I really like how this shows what the high tide can do and just how much it can change a coastline within a day. It's pretty remarkable. I hope you've had fun with this today. I certainly had a blast out there taking these pictures. I love that I spent this morning out with this raging sea. Tomorrow I'm going to go to the desert for some peace and quiet, and it's going to be beautiful. I'll have a video on that too, and I will see you on the other side.